He was one of the best to ever do it. Hall of Fame wide receiver Terrell Owens, T.O. joining the Odd Couple. What's up, brother?
I'm good, man. What's happening? Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas and Merry New Year to you guys.
That's right. No doubt.
Same to you, brother. Same to you. And happy Kwanzaa as well. Look, let's get to, before we get into football, man, I know you love the NBA and you want to talk hoops, as I do with you as well. And you and I were going back and forth on Instagram about Kyrie's comments about LeBron, or that LeBron and most others took about LeBron. And when he said that he finally has a teammate he looks at and says he can make that big shot at the end too. He's talking about KD. I want to give you a chance to kind of share your view, because you didn't take it like myself and most others took it, even like LeBron took it. So go ahead and share your view, T.O.
Well, absolutely. I think, me being a player that's been heavily and I think unfairly sometimes criticized by the media. I've had some of my words or what have you taken out of context when you don't actually know the person. And so for me, like I said, I understand the history that has gone on with LeBron and Kyrie. So I get the friction there, what have you. But I listen to, like I said, you have to understand, for me, my ears are probably a little bit different than your average audience ear, what have you. So from my perspective, I listened at it, with I guess an open ear, if you will. And so when I heard the context in which he was coming from, I listened to the tone of the podcast, and I just didn't get where everybody was coming from. And so when you have guys that have been awfully, oftentimes very, very critical of Kyrie and some of the things that has transpired since their departure, then it's only natural for everybody else that has viewed and seen this relationship deteriorate to jump on the bandwagon of guys like Stephen A., who has the platform to heavily criticize Kyrie in this situation and say that, okay, he's taking a shot at LeBron. And so for me, I sat back and I listened to the interview. And so for me, I listened to it, and as I explained to you via our DM, our Instagram, I'm like, okay, well, he never said LeBron's name. You only can speculate as to who he may have been talking about. And so for me, I listened at the fact that, okay, he's talking about his confidence and his ability to make a shot. Now he has someone in KD who also he's complimenting and say, okay, now I have a guy on my same level that he has confidence to pass the ball to that can make that same shot. So it wasn't until guys like Stephen A. and the likes that say, oh, my gosh, and then, oh, he's taking a shot at LeBron when he never said LeBron's name. So let's go to LeBron when he found out about it. I watched the clip of LeBron's, he was doing the show, Richard Jefferson's Road Tripping. He asked, okay, so before he actually jumped on the bandwagon, he basically did what I did. Okay, let me see the transcript. So if there wasn't any question about if Kyrie was actually talking about him or not, based on what the media has said, then players jumped on the bandwagon, I'm sure people from his camp said, then why would he have to ask or look at the transcript? Why wouldn't you just take it for face value?
I think LeBron's thought process was, okay, let me make sure, because, like you said, Kyrie's been, he's had a lot of issues with the media. Maybe they're blowing it out of proportion. Let me check it out. But then once he listened to it, he came to the conclusion that he was talking about me. I mean, I don't see there's any other conclusion other than that, T.O.
Well, but I think it's a combination of you're trying to compliment KD, and in doing so, you wind up right without saying it.
I
LeBron
do think he was being,
but I think he was being complimentary. T.O., I'm a little bit more with you that he was going over the top with trying to compliment KD, and in doing so, it was like, oh, what does that mean? LeBron's not clutch. But I want to get over to football. I want to ask you a question.
But he did.
About
hold on. Let me before we go to football. I don't know how much time we got, but let me ask Chris this. So, with with LeBron, having this information, and obviously, like I said, he didn't necessarily, like I said, why would he need to go to the transcript when he would obviously take for face value, what his team said or whatever the case may be. Why would he think that, okay, that KD was actually talking about him in this manner when, again, he's played with Kyrie, he understands him or what have you, and then, like I said, if you listen to the transcript, you can listen to the podcast, and then, like I said, you can go to the actual transcript itself when he never said LeBron's name.
Yeah, but it's like I said when we were going back and forth. Like, I'll give you this, T.O. I do think Kyrie legitimately felt when he played with LeBron that he was the best option. And that's fine. Even though others might say, I got no problem with Kyrie feeling like I was the best option. But LeBron certainly was a guy that could make those shots.
Yeah,
too.
but I think he's just saying he believed that he was the best option, Chris. And now he's got a guy who won back-to-back MVPs in the finals. You know what I mean? Who made a big shot over LeBron. And he was really trying to compliment KD. All right, I do want to get to football. Let's do that.
Hold on. One more thing. Have you guys did you guys or anybody ask Kyrie, was he talking about LeBron?
Well, he came out in
he said if I was
his
going to talk about
Instagram
LeBron, I would have named him.
Right. He didn't even say LeBron. He said if I'm talking about somebody, I'm gonna name him. But it's like
exactly. So you can't vilify. You can't accuse somebody of something when he's basically telling you, okay, if I didn't say his name, that's who I wasn't talking about him.
But T.O., it's like I said when you and I were going back and forth. If our next hour, like we're gonna have Rod Woodson on the next hour, and and I'm introducing him, and he comes on, and I say, man, finally today we gonna get a football player that knows what he's talking about. I don't have to say your name. Wouldn't you take that as a shot? Like I'm throwing a shot at
really.
you?
That's your opinion. That's how I would take it.
And that's where you're right. Like, that's Kyrie's opinion, and he's totally, has the right to have his opinion. But I don't think there's any doubt he was talking about LeBron. Because unless he forgot he played with LeBron.
But if you asked him and he said he wasn't and he didn't mention his name, you can't accuse him of that. You can't commit that. You can't basically say, okay, this guy committed a crime. You can't basically just put the hammer down on him because you speculate or you thought he was talking about a certain individual.
I think he was talking about every ex-teammate he had.
Okay.
Not just LeBron, but Kyle Korver and the rest of them.
Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be
Jason
here all
Tatum,
day.
Jaylen Brown.
We'll be here all day. I get it, but I just wanted to ask you about a lot of people. Some people were down on Aaron Rodgers.
I know T.O. just want to talk hoop, which I'm cool with that.
After last year, and what are you seeing from Aaron Rodgers this year, and how surprised are you as how well he's played, and obviously he's in the MVP conversation?
I mean, there's no surprise here. I mean, he's played when Aaron Rodgers is healthy. You see how that team plays. You see where he plays and the elevation of his game, how it's taken to another level. And you think about the pieces around him. They have a balanced attack with the running game. You have receivers in Lazard and Devontae Adams. So again, for him to be in this conversation is not surprising. Every year he's in somebody's mouth of how he plays. And again, I don't think he gets enough credit because again, he's only won one Super Bowl. I think some people feel like he's underachieving. There are some things that have transpired with, Coach McCarthy over the years, and that, there was a little friction there. But there's no surprise with the way that Aaron Rodgers plays. I wish I could have played with a guy like
I was going to ask
Aaron
you
Rodgers
that.
for the majority of my career. I mean, there's no telling what my statistics would have been. But when you think about Aaron Rodgers and what he means, obviously to the Green Bay Packers, that organization, their team, he's not only the MVP of that team, but you have to put him in conversation of MVP of the league. And I think sometimes, like I said, he does it so effortlessly that and on a regular basis that people don't, they don't think about him as an MVP because he does it on a regular. And it has to be, again, his level of play. It just has to be eye-popping and just his numbers has to be off the chart. And he has to do things spectacular. But Aaron Rodgers, this is something that he does on a yearly basis.
We are joined for the second straight segment by the Hall of Fame wide receiver, Terrell Owens. T.O., it's great to have him. All right, let's Jalen Hurts. Obviously, he inspired that football team yesterday, Philadelphia, to beat New Orleans. What'd you think of his performance, and what do you kind of think of the dynamic? You think Wentz needs to be traded, or it's too soon for all that?
I mean, the performance, it supersedes anything that I may have to say about it. I think, just the person that he is, the player that Jalen is, you think about the two top colleges, and you think about the SEC and you think about the Big 12 in which he played in both. And obviously playing with the University of Alabama where, again, I don't think the guy lost 5 games, but he was a starter there. He played very, very well. You saw him and Tua, they kind of really had each other's back a couple of times where Jalen played, poorly in the SEC championship game and national championship game, and then Tua came in and basically won that. And then the following year, they played Georgia, and Tua's playing poorly. Then Jalen comes in and saves the day because he was able to sit back and assess and see what he was doing wrong. During that time that he sat behind Tua, he saw him like, okay, let me see how Tua's doing this, how he's reading and dissecting defenses, how I need to put touch on the ball when I need to put touch on the ball, when I need to put it in there when I need to. And you fast forward to where he is now in the game last night, playing against the top defense in the National Football League in the New Orleans Saints, and he basically had his way with them. 17-0 going into halftime. They ultimately pulled it out. This is definitely not a surprise because this guy's he's mature beyond his years, and his play based on his skill set is obviously a lot different than Carson. So everybody's been making that comparison, and I just didn't like, weeks leading up to this, you had commentators like Tony Romo, Brian Greasy going to Carson Wentz's defense and basically kind of low-key hating on the fact that, okay, they're maybe looking to play a Jalen Hurts to replace him. But I'm definitely not surprised into his performance.
T.O., we got a hard out coming, and we'll get you on again soon to talk more NBA. But I want to ask you, do you have a prediction yet for who's in the NBA Finals this year?
Oh, it's going to be tough, man, because there's so much going on with the Clippers. Obviously,
they ain't
the Lakers.
They ain't looking good. It's early, but you know what I'm saying?
That's preseason. That's preseason.
I know, so but the Lakers are waxing them without LeBron and AD. I'm just saying, I'm with you. I like the Clippers, but I got the Lakers and probably Brooklyn. I ain't made my official pick, but probably Brooklyn.
Absolutely. So, again,
we got 15 seconds for you.
If everything goes well, I would go with that prediction. I would definitely say I'm going to go Clippers, and I'm going to go Clippers and Nets.
Ooh, okay. That's our man T.O., the Hall of Famer. We appreciate the time, brother.
That pick.
Again,
nice.
We got to get him on again to talk NBA. We'll definitely do it, T.O.